A recent SA Future Trust Baseline report has revealed that small, medium and micro enterprises have proven to be resilient during the COVID-19 pandemic, but still remain extremely vulnerable to external shocks such as lockdown restrictions and civil unrest. This report also found that more jobs were preserved than lost across the sectors, and skill sets as well as businesses also needed funding if they are to survive and thrive. To just talk generally about this report and other matters, we're chatting to Bridget Fury from the Oppenheimer Generations Philanthropies, so she can help us dissect a bit of the report and tell us about the role of the Oppenheimers during the compiling of this report. Bridget, welcome to SME On Point. If there was anything that gave one a true glimpse of the vulnerabilities of the SME sector, it was COVID, wasn't it? Tell us more about what generally this report found.
Thank you so much for having me. So perhaps I can start with why we, as Oppenheimer Generations, set up the fund, the South African Future Trust, which is a trust that we set up specifically to deal with the COVID-19 crisis in April last year, and our expectations of the significant impact that was going to happen for small businesses that were forced to close down. So the idea was to try and help small businesses keep going, and in order to do that, they would need to have some relief in terms of paying their employees. Yeah. So we set up a fund with a donation from Oppenheimer Generations Foundation of R1 billion in order to provide interest-free loans to small businesses who were banked by the big 6 banks, and the money, the loan was taken up by the business, and then money flowed directly to their employees over a 15-week period. So coming to the report, once we had, we were very fortunate in working both with government, who helped us to set up the trust very quickly, and as I've mentioned, the banks, who were our partners in deploying the money. We were able to set it up really quickly and get the money out within a few months. Yeah. And the first happened 6-7 days after we set up the fund. But what we found is we really didn't understand exactly which businesses had been affected, which businesses took up the loans, and the impact it had on them. So we sent out a survey to the just under 10,000 loan holders of the South African Future Trust between October last year and March of this year, to just understand a little bit more about why they'd taken up the money, how it had helped them, were still operational, and what were their prospects for the future. So yesterday we launched the fund. We launched the report on the fund, and there were some quite interesting takeouts from that. And just to bear in mind that this was the end of the survey happened in March of this year. So we've had quite a lot that has happened since then. We've had the third wave. We've had the unrest and issues in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. So we just need to put some context around that. But the good news is that the businesses that we were able to help, only 3% of those businesses of the respondents to our survey had said that they had closed down. And I think what that illustrates is really the most extraordinary resilience of small businesses in South Africa.
Yeah.
That was really important is that on the whole, most of the jobs in those small businesses had been preserved. Obviously, there had been some job losses. And as I say, looking forward and looking from March to now, we know that there have been significant shocks to those businesses, and I'm sure there are more job losses. But
Bridget, if I may just come in there.
I guess the overall view.
If I may just come in there, what I do understand is that that 1 billion rand that the Oppenheimer Foundation dispersed during that time, it was able to save jobs. Some businesses, you only mentioned 3% of businesses that were closed during the time, meaning that about 97% obviously stayed within the business, which means that the economy kept on going. You also mentioned the issue of the fact that this survey was taken during in a year's period, and even though there was other lockdown restrictions and also rooting and rioting that happened, the businesses were able to still become resilient in that. I'm afraid we don't have enough time today, Bridget, but I will be speaking to you using our Instagram page so that you can tell our followers more about what other findings that you found during this period and the survey. But before I let you go, where can one read the findings of the SA report, the SA Future Trust Baseline Report? Where can one find this report?
Super. So you can go to our website, which is southafricanfuturetrust.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Bridget. This is all from SME On Point.